Okay, I'll give you back the host, and then we'll have a little discussion after the meditation. All right, you can go, right?
Yeah. Okay. We'll do a short, maybe not that short, but we'll try to make it very short chakra meditation. So hi, everyone. My name is Raki, if you don't know me, but I'm going to do a short chakra meditation. So I want everyone to sit up tall and straight, keep your spine straight. And then I want you to close your eyes and just feel yourself sitting up straight, feel your body. And I want you to take a deep inhalation and exhalation. And as you inhale, take in all the positive energy around you. And as you exhale, let go of any tension that may be in your body. So now take another inhale. And then I want you to make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. And just feel your body nice and relaxed. And now I want you to take your attention to your root chakra, which is by your perineum. And I want you to visualize the color red. And I want you to tell yourself that I am safe and supported. As you're walking through your life, do you feel safe and supported? And I want you to visualize that you are supported through your life. Feel the earth supporting you. Feel that groundedness as you visualize the color red. Take a deep inhale, then exhale. And now I want you to bring your attention to your sacral chakra, which is right below your belly button. And I want you to visualize the color orange. And I want you to say to yourself that I express myself freely. And visualize yourself moving freely. Whatever makes your soul free, whatever makes you feel good. And visualize yourself expressing yourself freely. Your creativity. And take a deep inhale and exhale. And I want you to now move up to the center of your stomach. And I want you to visualize the color yellow right in the center of your stomach. And I want you to tell yourself that I stand in my power. See yourself shining in the light and in the darkness. Visualize yourself standing in your power. And I want you to visualize what it would look like if you were standing in your power. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Slowly move yourself up to your heart chakra. And I want you to visualize the color green right in the center of your heart. And I want you to say to yourself that I give and receive love freely. And what does it look like that for you? Visualize the flow of love coming into your life. And also visualize the love that you put out into this world. And feel your heart maybe feeling a little warm as you visualize all this love around you. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And slowly move yourself up to your throat chakra. And I want you to visualize the color blue. And I want you to tell yourself that I speak my truth. Where in your life do you need to speak up for yourself or for someone else or for a worthy cause? So visualize yourself speaking and allowing your voice to be heard. And what would that look like for you? And I want you to take a deep inhale and exhale. I want you to take your attention now to your third eye. And I want you to visualize that color indigo, dark and rich, kind of like the night sky. And I want you to tell yourself that I follow my intuition, the subtle guidance that's always there for you. And what does that look like for you? What does it look like when you trust your instinct? And what does it feel like to follow your instinct? So visualize yourself following your instinct and what that might feel like for you. So take a deep inhale and exhale. Now I want you to bring your attention to your crown chakra, right on the top of your head, the center of your head. I want you to visualize the color violet. I want you to visualize 1,000-petal lotus flower on the top of your head. It's beautiful lotus. And affirm to yourself that I am divinely guided and provided for. You are meant to shine and grow. And visualize yourself as a lotus growing resilient and strong. Feel the energy on the top of your head. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Now I want you to feel all your chakras from the root all the way to the top. Feel them energized. You're feeling safe and secure to fully express your power, able to speak your truth. Hold yourself right there for a few moments with loving kindness for the beautiful and unique human being that you are. Feel that loving kindness for yourself. And with your eyes closed, take your hand in Namaste in prayer and take that hand up to your third eye and say, for the clarity of thought. And then now take the Namaste to your lips for the clarity of speech. And now let's take the hand to the heart center for the clarity of action. You can release that, and let's take a deep inhale and exhale. And let's close this with 3 ohms. So 3 ohms on our own. So let's go ahead and take a deep inhale and ohm, however you do ohm. So let's go ahead and do that inhale. And just take this moment to feel the vibrations of Om, the beautiful vibrations that you've created within your body, around your body. And with gratitude in your heart, you can slowly open your eyes. And namaste. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you. All right. Any questions? Everyone's muted. All right. So you guys are just 8 more hours, or is it 9 more hours until you break the fast? So proud of all of you guys doing this dry fast. So any questions about how you're doing? How does... All good. So this is a surrender circle. So any things about surrendering? I know when I was going through this, it was a lot of detoxing that was going on. So there was a point where I just had to, it was at Ray's retreat almost 5 years ago. And I had to just surrender because there was so much detoxing going on, and emotionally, physically, everything. So it was just allowing the body to do what it needed to do. And I just had to basically almost kill time until, it's like 3.5 days, or like it was a whole retreat. So just trying to occupy yourself so you're not thinking about, water or food, and just allowing your body to do what it needs to do in that time. So it was a surrender at that point to allow it to do. So, yeah. Any questions on how you guys may be doing or anything?
Maybe if you can't ask the questions, just write them in the chat.
Oh yeah, there's some chat things going on here too.
I actually am not up to date. I was just invited. They told me that there's a sort of sharing circle. I don't know who the organizer is. I don't know if everybody's doing it from home. And can somebody put me up to date?
There's Fabi right there. Hi, Fabi.
Yeah, my internet. I don't know if my internet is working okay.
It's okay. We can hear you.
It's probably pretty bad, but Monica can explain you.
It works well, Fabi. You can keep going.
I think his internet's bad.
So many people are on their third day.
Oh wait, you're breaking up.
Today's topic is about surrendering. So
How it works.
Okay. I can say a few words about surrendering.
and so
It doesn't seem to work. You're breaking up a lot.
I have a question just to start the circle. And, then everybody has question. Okay.
Well, I can explain. So we are doing 3.5 dry fasting with a preparation of 7 days of juicing before, and now 3.5 days of dry fasting, and then we're gonna have some afterwards, like drinking water and diluting it with juices, and then keep going with that.
Okay.
So this is the third day. So the first day is the theme of sensations, and the second day we have a theme of nourishment, like pranic nourishment, and then the third day is always the theme of surrendering, and then tomorrow we're gonna have the half day and have a water ceremony and break the fast.
Nice. All right. Have any of you been living this lifestyle for a while, or is this like new for everyone?
It's not new for everyone. I mean, anybody who wants to unmute themselves and say.
So
I've been doing it for a while.
Oh,
go ahead, Alice.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. So it's not new to me, but I don't practice it as diligently as many people here do. But saying that, I've been having a very blissful time of it this weekend. It's been very beautiful. My week before, I did the juicing as well, and the Shang Prakshalana, which was very helpful. And it set my body up in such a great way. And on the theme of surrendering, it's so interesting because, I've not been able to have this space as like a full retreat. Often I'll try to completely, retreat myself. But I've still had to have a little work going on the side. So it's been interesting to surrender into just witnessing everyone else's emotions whilst I'm here in this very kind of way. So it's quite nice, really, to feel like my body can fall in and out of different forms of nourishment so easily right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can say something. For me, I live in Kopangan, and I know, Ray, that you did the retreat with my friends Esther in Kopangan, in Thailand. So it was the first time that I hear about you from Esther. And for me, I did many juice fasting. The last one, it was the big one. I did 300 days only on juice. 41 days on watermelon only. That was like bring me in another level of consciousness. And now I'm between liquid and eating fruits, basically. But I eat very less because after my 300 days, unfortunately, fortunately, because my mind is still like, would love to enjoy the food, but I'm not enjoying the food like before. So I am in this process at the moment.
300 days is a lot. It's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dina, did you want to share as well? Oh, Daniel maybe was before. Oh, well, let's have Dina first.
Well, okay.
Dina, go ahead.
Dina.
Hi.
Hi.
This is my very first time. And I've been drawn to this lifestyle. I've been reading about it and talking to different people. So I decided to do it this time. I signed up one time before, but I didn't follow through. And I have a lot of mixed emotions. I've been practicing meditation, and I've been doing intermittent fasting because I like to eat, but I want to not eat much. I want to eat healthier. So I guess I'm at the level 1 stage, but I feel good. It was a struggle, and I almost, said, hey, I can do this another time. But I pushed through it, and doing the meditations and the the Qigong, and just staying connected has really, really helped me. So surrendering to community, because I'm isolated. I live alone. I live on the beach, a beautiful surrounding, you know, so I have everything to be conducive to the meditation style, but it's an inside thing. And I realized that in my mind, you know, actually realizing that I'm not my thoughts, but I've been living from my thoughts for so long, and they have been, you know, and it's just like, but anyway, I'm so glad that, you know, I've started this journey, and I'm looking forward to just what's in the future as I continue to participate. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Dina. And now we take the last person, Daniel. You wanted to share something?
Hello. Hey guys. Yeah, I actually did the my initiation with Ray in 2019. I think February, Spain. Then I had shaved my head, so I don't know if Ray recognizes me right now.
I
grew my hair out.
I know exactly who you are.
Yeah, I used to hop on with the calls with Tal for the integrations and stuff. So it's really cool. And so, yeah, I've been living this lifestyle quite some time. But I had recently, hold on, give me one quick second. Hello. I'm on a Zoom call right now.
Okay, do you think?
Yeah, well, I'll join you guys in a second. Yeah, we're going out to help a friend in need, chop up some wood at her land and stuff. So we're on a little trip, which is going to be interesting. Third day dry fast. I feel a little slower today, but a lot of times my energy picks up later. So, but yeah, now I'm just I kind of was eating a lot more for some time, and got caught up with I guess suppressing and all that comes with food and entertainment and those addictions. And then now I'm just back on being lighter again. And so this past month I've only eaten solid food a couple times and doing a lot of intermittent dry fasting. But I tried to always stick to at least a 1 day dry fast every week that Ray recommended, and that's been like such a blessing for resetting the body, mind, and spirit, and not going too far down the rabbit hole of food. So it's been great, and it's nice now getting to reconnect with everybody. And Dina, by the way, your skin keeps glowing more and more day by day. So good on you.
Thank
you guys for letting me share.
Thank you, Daniel. So maybe Fabio or Ellie could tell us more about the plan for this one session.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Daniel just brought up a subject that's very important. I wanted to ask Ray and Raki and Jerome, kind of on their journey, the surrendering, like, it's also happening on the third day when you have this feeling of like, okay, I'm surrendering, like this belief. It's coming probably naturally for some people after 3 days, that you start feeling like, okay, I'm not seeking so much that food. But I just want to also cover, like, from you guys, the after, because it's like, how did they go for you, Ray, for you, Raki, or Jerome? Like, is the surrendering still happening? Yeah, how do you look at it for after? That's kind of what I want to cover. And then
I can give you my point of view.
Talk about it, and then we can just have like other questions from anybody.
It's not just the physical surrender, right? Because what is surrender? A lot of people think that when we're surrendering, then we're missing something, we're losing something, because we're attached, and it's the way that our ego protects us, right? But when we surrender, we actually surrender the future and the past, and to be much more in the now. And we're actually saying that I believe that there's something bigger happening that I can't control, nor do I want to control. In Hebrew, it sounds really nice. There's a saying that goes, "Retzonech yaseh, lo retzoni, bi udarki." Thy will shall be done, not my own will, with me and through me. And that means that the will of spirit will be done, and spirit will use me in order to execute her spirit, her intentions. And I think that when we're talking about surrender, when we let go of the overthinking and the human drama, and right now for you guys, the third day of the dry fast, all those thoughts, should I continue with this? How is my body going to feel like? Did I lose too much weight? What are my parents going to say? And all these kind of things, they do tend to work themselves out, because it's usually us that are making a big deal out of it, right? We always talk about the two biggest struggles of the Breatharian, and it's never about the physical body. It's always the mind games, overthinking, and in the beginning, usually it's also society, like the pressure of society, people around us, our partner, our children, you know, our old habits and stuff like that, that slowly dissipate. So I believe that in the beginning, at least with my process, when I did the 21 days, surrender was a big part of it. And the boredom of doing it by yourself, secluded from society, somewhere around the Gaza Strip for me, then it was to surrender to the will of spirit. In other words, I know I'm not going to die. I know that maybe I won't feel that good. You know, it was 7 days of dry fasting when we did the old way, and you surrender to your thoughts. You suddenly understand that you don't need to meditate in the morning and the evening. You can just be all day long, and when you are, then you surrender. And that surrender in the beginning, it's painful, because your ego is like trying to hold on to a little bit control, hold on to a belief, hold on to an emotion. And then with time, you understand that you are not the belief, you're not the emotion, you're not the thought, you're not even the composition of all of them together. You're the observer of all of these things as they occur to that avatar, you know? Like you are the spirit guide of that avatar that is experiencing that life that is not necessarily yours. So it's easier to surrender when you have that type of like point of view. In other words, it's not me, you know? I also read a book, you know, the title of the book was, it's not my money, it's God's money. It's God's money, right? He gives it to someone and then he takes it away and then he moves it to the other side. And the same thing with us, you know, Breatharians are a very small part of the population experiencing something, you know, elevating a frequency, because the spirit wants to experience this through specific individuals. So all we have to do is, you know, be a leaf in the wind, you know, just let the wind take you wherever it's going to take you, and trust. And then when you let go, you see that it's going to take you the right position, right? It's all us. We are disturbing the story that has been written for us with our actions, with our thoughts, with our planning. When we tell God that we know better what we want in this life. So that's the opposite of surrender. That's the word of surrender for me, at least. And it's a gift that keeps on giving. You always see, you know, you always release a little bit more and release a little bit more. And I think that only the real true Gandhis of the world, they can say that they have absolutely no anticipation of reality, and they completely surrender to the will of spirit. And us small babies, you know, we're learning to let go more and more each day. So it will be an endless journey, I believe, of surrendering.
Wow, that's beautiful. So does it feel endless to you too, Raki or Jerome? Do you want to comment or add something? This journey of surrendering?
Oh, well, I can say that it's not easy to surrender, because I, you know, have come from, well, if you need to get something done, you have to do it. And, you know, it's one of those things that it's not easy for me to surrender. But as I've continued on this journey, I realized that there are certain things that we don't have control over, and it's easier to put, you know, for me, it's been easier to go into a manifestation mode where I could manifest certain things and then let whatever happen. But at least I'm living to my highest joy, and I'm following my highest joy. So if I continue doing that, I just let everything else go. And then I feel that the universe somehow conspires to make things happen. And that's my way of surrendering. So I feel like that part of me that wants to do something is still doing it by doing the manifestation. So, and then letting it go, and letting the universe give me whatever it wants to give me. And I find that works out for me. I don't take out too much stress, because then I let it go. It's like, okay, whatever's going to happen, I'm going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So that's my surrender. That's how I've done it. Yeah. Yeah. Jerome, you have your way of surrendering.
Beautiful. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, and I can't help but smile because for those people who don't know, Rocky has helped me so much on this journey. Like when it comes to surrender, when it comes to just needing someone to let you know that it's okay, that what you're going through is okay, that it's gonna be okay. Because like Ray was saying with the mind, the mind likes to get in the way and say that it's not okay. And I just have to thank you, Rocky, for being my rock, for real. There's been so many times, that I've called out to you and you've answered the call every time, without fail. And that was definitely helpful, for me. I love what Ray said about being a leaf in the wind, and it reminded me, if anybody has ever seen the show Avatar, there's a beautiful show, Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they were training this woman named Korra how to airbend. And she knew how to bend the element of fire. She knew how to bend the element of earth and water, but she was learning how to do something that was so against her way of being. She was out of her element, And they set up for a martial arts test for her with these wooden panels that were spinning, rotating at a high velocity. And they would just imagine like 100 wooden panels, huge wooden panels just spinning. And then these airbenders were just gracefully going through and just flowing through, and they never got hit. And so they asked Korra to do the same. And she just, every wooden panel was slamming into her body, just throwing her this way and that. And she was just falling flat on her face each time. And they said, just be the leaf. Be the leaf. And they blew a leaf and they let the leaf go through the wooden panels. And sure enough, the leaf was able to gracefully bob and weave effortlessly throughout the wooden panels, without being touched, because it wasn't in resistance, because like they say, whatever you resist will persist, when you're in opposition of something. So that really gave me the image of surrendering, because like you were saying, Ray, with societal pressure, there was a societal surrender that I was surrendering to unknowingly, unconsciously, subconsciously throughout my life. I was surrendering to society, the program that I was under for a lot of my life. And then when I surrendered to the synergy of the collective community, the group that I was in, like Dina was saying, surrendering to community. I think that's love, community, coming together for a cause, coming together for a goal or an aim, or even just an exploration, and to feel other people's vibration around me who were doing the same, and being sustained by that energy. That allowed me to receive and believe something that I had never allowed myself to do before. So just to have a collective gathering, just to have a group of individuals who are like-minded, and that you're not alone, right? You're not crazy. So you're more able to surrender. You're more able to relax, kick back, and just let things be and feel that you're free. You're free to just be, you're free to allow things to be what they are, allow it to be what it is. And you don't have to force, that you can go into a flow. And when I went more into that flow, that's when things started to grow. So I would say my advice, one more thing that Ray pointed out is the spirit, and thank you for letting us hear it, Ray, about the spirit, because surrendering to what is beyond, there's something that is beyond our identity or beyond our avatar or whatever we have customized in life. There's something beyond that. And when it all came down to energy, because my initiation was back in 2020 with Elitom. So in that group, it was blowing my mind. I was like, I'm still alive? What? They told me I wasn't supposed to be alive. I'm still alive. And not only am I alive, not only am I not just surviving, I'm thriving, When I went past the point of no return, it was like, my mind was blown. It was like, okay. First of all, I was kind of a little bit perturbed. I was like, how did I not know this? Why are we not taught this? Why is this not something that, you know? So when I went beyond that, then I was like, okay, I'm still here. I'm still here. Everyone around me is still here. We're all in this together. We're still here. There's no fear. I'm still here, right? So it just allowed me to continue, and it let me know that I'm something more than what I've been taught. You know, I'm something more than what I was told and what I was sold, that idea. And that allowed me to see what that is. So it let me know that, okay, I am the energy that powers this vessel. Like Nabiha always says, you are the driver, right? This is your vehicle. Your body is not you, but it is yours. You know, my body is not me, but it is mine. And so it just takes a little bit of time to let that inner light to shine, to allow you to realign. And when the mind and the body are in unison, when they are one, and you know, it's like, okay, here we go. So thank you. Thank you once again, just for having this session, just for having this surrender, because it's a great message for everyone to remember. Much love.
Thank you,
Thank
Jerome.
you so much, Jerome. I don't know why, but you brought up something, unless you wanted to comment, Ray or Raki, but somehow there is a question that came from what you were saying, Jerome, and I want to ask for Ray, maybe if you want to answer that. But is there a point where surrender might not work for some people? Like, for example, that maybe it's not like there's a time issue, but like maybe now might not be the right time. Maybe it might come later in a much easier way. Like, could you talk about that maybe? And if everybody has question, you can click raise your hand so we can go and pass on to you, like the mic, to ask question.
Annabelle?
Yeah, no, I just want to share my experience with surrendered. Because for me, I started the process because I was very sick, so I didn't have any other possibility. And during my long just fasting, I went through so many crazy detox symptoms, crazy, that all the time I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, and I didn't die, of course, no. But this is make me very strong, and now, literally, I thanks to what I went through, I literally won my fear of dying. So for me, I'm literally surrendered, totally surrendered. I am in a literally peaceful state. And for me was this, you know, jumping out of the comfort zone and don't have any other choice because I was sick. So I must do this, you know, and this is now I see like a blast. Because it was a blast, and I became stronger, I became more peaceful and surrendered. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I have to tell you that regarding your question, everyone is very different, right? Everybody gets things in different stages of their life. Some of us are born with certain knowledge. Like if you take Mozart and Beethoven, and everybody's excited that, you know, they can compose in the age of 3, it's because they incarnated, you know, the soul before had experience. And a lot of the people that are attracted to this lifestyle, what we've noticed is that it's people that are coming, it's beings that are coming to Earth, and they remember their previous experiences, and it makes sense to them to not what other people would call deprive, but to be on less in order to be more. Higher vibration, right? If we look at physics, you know, when we look at a lamp doesn't light. It lights in a frequency of 70 to 80 hertz. That means that it goes on and off so fast that our eyes that can only see 24 frames a second, it looks like it's a consecutive light. And the same thing with human beings, we vibrate, right? So some of us have these fears, and maybe if you hold on to those fears, they will make your path as a breatharian or a dry faster, or however you want to, you know, find this in your life, a little bit more difficult. They will weigh you down a little bit. And it's true, because our thoughts and fears and doubts weigh us down. And when you let them go, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, super duper easy, because everybody has their own body. Some of us are young, some of us are older, some of us are in good shape. Some of us have a lot of toxins, you know, maybe you had a disease, you had a lot of antibiotics because your mom is a doctor and got stuck in the liver. Now the body has to cleanse that out. So it takes some time until you get there. And you really want to be tuned into your body. You have to find that balance point between, I'm listening to my body is going through a very difficult time right now, and I'm pushing my body beyond the limits of my comfort zone in order to attain more. And it will be like this. It will be up and down, and then the next up will be a little bit higher, and then down, and then the next up will be higher. You know, that's our expansion. That's the way that we learn through life. But I can tell you that everybody here with synchronicity is supposed to be here. And then afterwards, some of you will go back to eating normally. Some of you will take a few months. Some of you will become as extreme as Rocky, that, you know, only drinks water and herbal teas and stuff. So it's very, very different. I wouldn't try to put a template on anyone. I would just try to see if I can see what my intention is and ask my higher guidance what they believe I should intend and what will be the best for my progress. For some of us are going to get the answer of, yeah, you know something, experience this for half a year and then let go. While others are going to hear a voice saying, this is you. This is what you've been waiting for. This is the experience that we've been waiting for the rest of our life. You know, sort of like something like that, like a deep voice of, yeah, we know, this is it. And some are going to realize that the voice that said, this is it, had to say that voice for a while in order to go back to who we were with new experiences. And perhaps this shattered a relationship, or perhaps this shattered a job that we didn't like anymore. And we change our life and we look back retroactively at our life and we say, at that point, I didn't know. And at that point, the voice said that thing in order for me to get to that place. So we can't really know, right? We can only, again, and this is the topic of the day, surrender.
I think, honestly, we don't need to force anything, you know. Everything is come at the right moment all the time and spontaneously, because otherwise, if you force yourself, you cannot keep. For me, for example, now I'm feeling more to be liquidarian. I still love a lot of juice. I mean, juice is I cannot give up juice, honestly, at the moment. I really love to drink juice. And it is what it is. I mean, I will just take the time and will just surrender about this, you know, enjoy the process. So, yeah.
If anybody has question, please go ahead, raise your hand or like unmute yourself and ask
Yes,
your question, but just not everybody at the same time.
Maybe I want to ask now. No, okay, and I will let other people go.
Can I ask a? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, go on. Go on.
I thought someone had a question. No, I wasn't gonna. Go ahead, Alice. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know, and you've kind of answered this already, but I was just curious for the beautiful three souls that are kind of leading this call. So what do you find most challenging in your life, right? Just in your life, what kind of comes up and goes, oh, wow, okay, I really need to take a moment here. Or does that even happen at this point in time? You know, because like this is such a mental game, right? You know, everything that we're doing here. So I just wondered how it kind of overlaid into the rest of your life, you know.
So your question is like, are there difficult moments that we have?
Yeah, like, is there a theme of a difficult moment, or is it just, I mean, I know we're all human, but, you know, is there like kind of like one thing that goes, oh, you know, like for me, if I brush my teeth, that's really difficult for me when I'm doing like a dry fast. That's been the only difficult thing this weekend, you know, but I'm just curious for the well-seasoned ones of you, you know, is there anything that you find challenging? And to Ray and Jerome also as well as to you.
Hell yeah. Of course. I think we're playing a game, and when we level up in a game, the monsters become bigger and uglier and harder. But when you look back at the first levels of the game, you say like, that's a piece of cake, right? But it depends on you. Some people want to take a holiday when they reach level 5, and some people want to go to find the monster of level 7. So I think that my contracts are forever growth. And I've been dealing with, ever since the COVID, I've been dealing with a lot of issues. Both of my kids are on the spectrum, and it's driving us crazy with patience. And even though we're very spiritual people, business is different. Israel is a very difficult country. I've made some bad decisions. Of course, there's no bad decisions, but you know, my ego says it's a bad decision. You should have done something else. And my spirit says everything is accurate. Wait and discover, you know, and dealing with that as well. And things are, you know, life always happens. I'm building a new project in Costa Rica with a lot of cool young families, which is awesome. And it's also challenging now because, you know, the world is in kind of like a chaotic place. So again, we need to find funding to build the roads and the infrastructure and the yoga place and everything like that. So every day is a new challenge.
Where in Costa Rica?
In Montezuma.
Okay.
It's half an hour from Santa Teresa.
And what do you wanna, if I can ask, what do you wanna build exactly?
What?
What do you wanna build exactly?
We're building a village. We're building a place that will house 100 people that want to just be out of our reality, you know? We're going to have kindergarten for the kids, and we're going to have an eco village, and we're going to have, you know, everything that we need to have in order to have a good life away from, you know, the Western type of pressures. I don't know if we're going to move there and when, but I want to have a backup plan. So that's what we're doing.
Very nice.
Yeah. But life happens all the time. But I think that the way that I see it now is I embrace it much quicker. In order, I'm not fighting it anymore. I'm just saying, okay, this is the way that it is. And actually, through my kids and through these experiences, I'm learning quite a lot about myself. My spiritual ego is decreasing, you know, the one that says, I know, I already went, I experienced everything, I know, blah, 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 blah. So through that experience, I'm minimizing myself and I'm becoming much more of a person, because I think that in my personal, like my experience was that I never really felt like I belong here. I would feel weird or off. I had weird thoughts, weird ideas, and I always kept them ever since childhood to myself. As a Breatharian, I feel much more comfortable being who I am, right? But now I understand that I need to be much more human in my experiences. I need to be in the daily life. I need to learn how to struggle and not let it go over my spiritual body, you know? There are all these things that they open me up to a lot of emotions that I didn't have before, and a lot of more expressions and a lot more simplicity than I ever had before. So I'm allowing myself to surrender to the suffering of the human journey as well. And that suffering is not, it's not extended. It's not that I live there. It's not that I'm complaining about it or gossiping about it. It's that I allow myself to view it and accept it in that period of time. And then I allow myself to breathe and heal and grow out of it as well. So yes, I will always want to struggle, and I always will want to be outside of my comfort zone, because that's the way that we grow and mature. That's my belief, at least.
Thank you.
So for me, for me, I feel that as I continue on this path, all the difficult, like, relationships, things, how I dealt with things are much easier, because I have a different perspective on it. And I think since my energy, if your energy changes, let's say a relationship with another human being, if I change my perspective and if I change myself, then my relationship with the other person is automatically going to change. So when you change, the other person changes. So I have noticed that, a lot of difficulties that I used to go through, they've become easier because I have changed. So everything kind of shifts around you as you shift. And so it's become easier. And even at times when I do feel that it is difficult, I can observe that, oh, I'm going to react, and I can actually just be the observer. So I feel like as you're on this Breatharian path, just things for me, it's just become a bit easier to handle than I used to be able to handle it. So yeah, I'm a little lighter than it used to be. So it's like easy. It just kind of flows. Okay, whatever.
Thank you. Jerome?
Love that, Rocky. They do say, like, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It is that perspective, that perception of seeing the world through new eyes. And as you asked that question, Alice, I was thinking to myself, okay, what's the biggest challenge? What is challenging right now? And I would say, ironically, it's what to do with all the energy.
Yeah.
For me, that's been one of my biggest challenges. What do I do with it all? When you realize it. Go ahead.
You're right, exactly.
Oh, okay. So somebody can hear me in here. So Annabella, that's Annabella. Beautiful.
Yes.
So you resonate, you get where I'm coming from.
Oh, a lot. I resonate. I sleep very less. Sometimes, now I get used and now I enjoy. But at the beginning, I was like, what I'm gonna do? I was getting boring,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because, a lot of the energy and a lot of the time, a lot of the resources, a lot of the mental faculties, the psychic energy was taken up for so much of my life in consumption, So my energy was going towards, thinking about food, going out to the grocery store, finding the food, buying the food, bringing the food back, cooking the food, making the food, preparing the food, eating the food, cleaning the dishes, washing them, putting it away, and then I have to deal with
too much job.
Yeah, then you deal with the digestion and everything that comes after the ingestion, So there was, I was living in a constant state of, constipation. There was just a lot of things that I was living with that were very normal for me. I almost thought like everyone lives like this. I didn't know people didn't live like that. I thought this was normal, So when I was doing something that to others was very abnormal, I'm no longer envious of when I see people eating, It's not that I'm judging, but I'm no longer envious. I'm no longer jealous of what's on somebody's plate or what somebody ate. I had friends, I was over at friends' house and they were cooking something and they were like, are you sure? Like, man, I feel guilty eating this in front of you. You sure you can't have this? You don't want anything? Are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And it was like they felt guilty eating around me when I was not eating. And so I had, you resonate.
Exactly. I resonate a lot. People say, oh my gosh, you deprivate yourself. Sorry if I eat in front of you, but no problem for me. People, they don't understand. Literally, when you are in another state, you don't care. You literally don't care.
I literally had that Annabelle last week as well.
Yeah, it's amazing because you cut totally the addiction from the food. So now I'm like, sometimes I eat fruits just because I want to sleep,
Exactly.
Literally, I use the food like to sleep, but I cannot, of course, eat cooked food. I cannot eat fat, just the pure fruits, or maybe cucumber maximum.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
but
that's
I can sleep. So I can sleep.
Yeah, that was my same here. As a form of sedation. To put myself back into a feeling of sedation and relaxation. And so now, when the energy is high, I'm figuring out, okay, where do I put this energy? Because I know that it can either be towards something productive, something constructive, or something destructive. You know, for myself, I go right back in, you know, and dig myself into another hole with something if I'm not conscious, if I'm not aware of where that energy is flowing and going. So that's what I would say would be the challenge. To get creative, had to get creative.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jerome. That was so awesome. Thank you.
Bless.
Annabella, did you have a question?
No, because he was almost answer to my question. I mean, I just wanted to share something, but Jerome shared for me, basically.
I think Fabi disappeared again.
Hi, hey, all good. I
think Andres wants to ask a question.
If it's possible, I want to ask to Ray and how it was for him, because we have family, no? We have 3 beautiful girls, and I want to ask you how was for you going on this pranic lifestyle as a Breatharian. How was for you with your girls? Because we live a lot of situations here with food, and some of them, they are funny. Some of the situation is just challenging us. So I want to know how it was for you. Thank you.
Honestly, when I started, I was a bachelor and it was much easier. It's much more challenging with kids, especially in the beginning. They saw that I'm not eating with them and they didn't want to eat as well. And then I had to sit with them and drink tea or juice or something in the dinner table. And it's much more challenging. Well, for you, you know, to be around food is fine. It's even fun to cook for them. It's even fun, you smell with them, but it's different. There's a lot more of the family thing, and I'm the only one in the family that doesn't eat with them all the time. So we try to find the schedules that when I do it with the family. And now they're a little bit bigger. You know, my eldest is 5.5, and I have another one 2.5. But in the beginning, like when she was 2 or 3 years old, very challenging. And don't forget, like cats and small kids, they get our energy. So on the one side, she has energy. On the other side, she doesn't understand why that when she gets hungry, she gets cranky. And you can't really explain it to her, you know. She doesn't understand it yet. That's why you don't transform kids into breatharians. They have to be like 18, 19 to make a decision to do that. So I can tell you, it will be a little bit more challenging. And maybe you should find something that is a little bit more in the middle, you know, be a liquidarian for a while and see if that works a little bit better with them. And then they can have more smoothies and things that are in between, you know, with the fiber and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely more challenging. I can even tell you that I don't know if I would have done it if I was married and with kids. Like it will, unless my kids were a little bit older. That's also what I see in my initiations. Usually I don't see people come when they have very young kids because it's a challenging few years. I see younger people come, and I see people, you know, 35 and 40 that are already have a little bit more mature kids, and they have more time for themselves.
I have, sorry, there was.
So please, Andres, you have your hand up.
Thanks, Monica. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your words and your experiences. Actually, I have 2 questions. So one of it is with the topic, like more about the social, like sharing with other people and what happened. Yeah, this kind of experiences, like, yeah, I was sharing with someone and they offered me some food and I had to explain, or how did you react or something. the more social, the better. And the other question is more personal, like in this process. Last night I was feeling so thirsty, and this morning as well. I'm still feeling it. So I would like to know for you. I'm fine, but I want to ask for you, like, if you are dealing with this sensation after a couple of days, like, what do you do? Like, is there any technique that you have to go through this experience of needing and feeling like, oh, I just need water or something like that? Thanks.
Who's the question to?
Some technique on how to break through the feeling of thirst.
Yes, there are. First, we don't live in that way. Like, we're not Breatharian level 4s, so we don't live without food and water at all. Everyone finds their own type of balance. I found my balance at about 2 meals a week, and sometimes a snack with my in the evening. But other people go a little bit more further than me. I had a full year that I didn't do, that I had very, very little, and it felt like it was too extreme socially. The technique will be to imagine that you are dripping, like it's sort of like light water that is coming from the back of your head. And what you're going to notice is that after a few times that you visualize it, you're going to start noticing that you're getting this sensation of watery in the back of your throat. And you have to practice this. So you visualize it, and you're visualizing it like rain of light dripping down, and then it comes back up. Again, it's just for the dry phase. After you guys will start drinking water again, then it will dissipate after a few hours. But for this phase, it's great. Also, just be with it. You know, the dry phase, a few days, you feel like you're 90 years old. You're like, you can hardly speak, and all this, I don't know, toxins are coming out of your mouth. You just need to accept it. I wouldn't do the thing that, you know, people drink and then they go blah, 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 and then they, you know, spit it out, because after 2 minutes, you will be dry again, yet again. Now, I want to give you guys some tips about how you integrate this. And I won't be able to do that here, but go on my YouTube channel, find a video that's called Integration Advice. You know, Maor Integration Advice, you probably can find it from Google. It's the full workshop of what we do in the end of the initiation, with tips about how I explain to some people what is scientific, how do I explain it to a spiritual person, how I explain it to a more, you know, scientific oriented person, when I do my blood tests, and all these kind of things of you know, from the experiences of thousands of people that have already done the workshops.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so next question is from Faye. Oh, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. I couldn't find the button. Hi, everybody. I'm Ife. I'm new to the group. I joined around the time you guys were getting started. So I'm not fully participating right now. I'm just pretty much listening and doing my best to be as active as possible. I'm still doing my own fasting right now. So it's still encouraging to hear. And I pretty much was, I missed the beginning part because I came in a little late, but the last thing I heard was in reference to people with children on the path. I didn't know if anyone in this group has children, but I am on the path and I do have small children. When I first got on the path, I was following Elatom, and I remember him saying things like it would be difficult with little small children and all that. So I was just wondering, like, again, if there was anyone in here that had children, if they had any, you know, any gems, because mine are, I have 5 and they're 12, 11, 9, 8, and 6. So they're very small. They're all plant-based. I've been transitioning them, but they're not as extreme with it as I am, obviously. But it does get difficult at moments. It really does. But I've been doing it for so long, and I have a lot of willpower, and I do pretty well, but I was just wondering if anyone, like I said, had children or had any advice. It'd be very helpful. And thanks.
I can comment to that. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Maybe I can comment to that. I have children, and I have been on this path without knowing because I just don't like food, and I view food differently. And so I will recommend to just be you around your children, and let them be them. Don't introduce them to restrictions. Because it's the restrictions, so like my children right now, they eat whatever they want, but at the same time they know my ways. They know I don't eat, right? So like the older ones are getting into my path right now, and I never told them anything. They just seen me, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like being you, the truest you around them, and they will just become like that. But you can't introduce them. You can't tell them this is right, because
of course.
At the end of the day, there is no right and wrong, And most of the times when you tell children do this, they do the other way.
Yeah.
So just be you around them, juice around them, and just introduce them to the healthy life,
Yeah.
But don't.
That's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah, just do that. Don't introduce them to no breatharianism. Don't introduce them to no eating or this and that. It's just gonna complicate them, But if you are just around them, just the way you are, I think that would help them, So, and this is not a goal, I see everybody saying like, about the food and stuff. Once you just align yourself, everything will just fall off. It's not like, don't restrict yourself, don't force anything. Things will fall off as long as you just align your energy. So just be you around them. That's what I would recommend.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Let them do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you. So Annabella is the next one with her hand up.
I wanna ask to Ray, what did you explain to your children about the process? How did you explain to them? And another question is, are your children vegan or raw vegan, or they eat everything? And when you eat, Ray, when you eat everything, or you just eat, I don't know, plant-based or something specific? And how long you have been doing, like keeping eating 2 times a week?
Years now. Like in the first year, I didn't eat anything at all. I understood that in order to create this new habit, then I have to really stretch it. And after a year, in my, Breatharian birthday, I had pizza. And ever since then, I told myself, once a week. It was like once a week for a couple of months, and then I started playing around with it. I still do extended fasts occasionally, but it's not like before. It's not like in the beginning. I never feel hungry. I feel detached, and I feel more free to choose to be a flexitarian. I don't eat meat. I'm a vegetarian. And I think that if pizza and ice cream wouldn't exist in the world, I would probably be a vegan as well. I prefer to just have a salad or something light when I eat usually, or a smoothie or something like that. My children, I never told them. I don't think that they're mature enough to understand. So I play around with it, they eat. I think even my wife doesn't eat with them. They usually eat by themselves, and we're pretty much sitting with them. My wife usually doesn't have a lot of food as well. I don't know if it's because of me, or maybe it was more natural to her. She did do the initiation, but she didn't choose it as a lifestyle. It was very good for her because it brought up a lot of traumas from her childhood that needed to be processed, which we believe wouldn't have been processed unless she did the proper initiation. And she did. It was beautiful. And I'm not sure when to tell my kids, I don't want to influence them. I don't want them to make the decision because it's me. And they're very much like, they look at me like any child would look at his parents, like he's all-knowing, knows best, God, until they reach 10, and then they think that you don't know anything at all. So I haven't decided yet. I assume that it will come naturally in the right time.
But they eat everything, your child, or they are vegetarian too?
We don't have meat at home. They do have a schnitzel like once a week. So I would say that 90% that they're plant-based.
I don't think you have to tell them, they will just know. That's what I mean by.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will just come naturally when they will start asking those questions.
Exactly. Like my children just know who I am. And there's, I've never told them anything. And people just know. I feel like sometimes, I'm invisible. People think I'm eating, but I'm not eating. So it just became like something like that's just normal. I just move around. They just know. You don't have to tell them anything. Yeah.
At work, it was much easier, because I'm already known as a breatharian where I am, because I was like on TV a few times. Then in the beginning, it was hard because nobody knew what it was. But now I became kind of like known, and it was much easier. In the beginning, I had to lie to my colleagues. I just told them, no, I just don't eat breakfast and I don't eat lunch. I eat dinner. And then with time, I took them one at a time, and I told them, I also don't eat dinner. And then, the scientific-oriented people needed a little bit more persuasion. But the best way to explain it is with caloric restriction. Don't tell them that you stopped completely. Just tell them that you significantly reduced, but you don't have to tell them how much you significantly reduced. But those that are scientific-oriented, they will find that caloric restriction actually extends life. Because your body is always detoxed, and the body actually it's supposed to be stressed, but it's not really stressed. It's just more efficient in its systems. So that's the way I usually explain it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. So because we already passed the hour, so let's have a last question. Parvati, you're the one.
Mine is not a question. It's just it's my experience with our girls. We explain to them. They understand pretty good. One of them, Alma, and she have 9 years. She just asked to us if we will don't die doing this. So we explain that not, to the opposite. We will get more alive with this. And our little girl, she have 5. She already tell me she wants to be Breatharian like us and Pranics like us. When I'm doing food, sometimes she tell me, no, I prefer to drink juice because I know it's more nice for me to live as a Pranic. It's really interesting. I don't know, my think about this, and this, because I have good experience living like this. I think it's good to make them know that this lifestyle exists, that it is possible, that there is a lot of people around the world and living like this. I think it's a good influence, because sometimes when you don't do the influence, and another person or even Babylon is giving this influence to them. So it's good for me to maybe to don't push them to this path, because maybe their soul, their being is not in this way. They have a complete different way, maybe. And it's okay, and we are super happy that it is like this. We don't need them to be on this path. Just we like to they that know that this exists, that is possible, and it's a really powerful human experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I think I give the talking stick to Fabi to conclude this whole hour.
I don't really have much units. I'll let you guys maybe share one words of Rocky.
His voice is breaking up quite a bit.
Could you hear? It was something to you, Rocky. Could you? Sorry.
Sad.
Fabi,
can you
Fabi,
type?
Right. Yeah, type in the chat.
Fabi's internet connection is fasting.
Yeah. Well, let just our celebrity guest to conclude this. Whatever you want to say, like the last words on the topic or off the topic to us. What's your best tips for the little fasting babies here to?
Well, I would say that whether you're on the Pranic path or not, or if this is something of interest to you, I would say that just continue doing it to the best of your ability. If you want to do intermittent fasting, once you've done the 3.5 day dry, you can continue doing that, maybe once a week dry. Keep on this path, and as you keep on this path, whatever this path is for you, you'll see that your life starts changing. Because if you start restricting food, whether you go all the way on Breatharian path or not, but if you start restricting food, you'll notice your life will start changing and you start eating better. So I would just say continue on, and there's a whole journey, whole beautiful life in front of you that's awaiting you, because things start changing when you start changing your diet. So best of luck to all of you guys, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. So, well, Ray?
Yeah, I really wish you guys, especially the ones that are doing it for the first time, I really want you guys to go and learn from the experience of so many before you. I know Breatharians are not technological. There's no Facebook group of I'm an active Breatharian. Like, you won't find this type of stuff. What you're doing here is very, very unique. That you have 20, 30 people that are coming together to do this type of freestyle initiation. So go find it. I wrote down here in the chat. I give you guys a link to one of the better videos. And just so you know, in the beginning, it's usually the most challenging time, especially the first couple of months. But after that, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's really, it's constantly experiencing more and more and more and more. I think that, we challenge ourselves. And because we challenge ourselves, then we experience 10 years worth of experiences in just, a very short period of time of 6 months or 12 months or something like that. It can be very wavy. So just, you can expect that, especially when dealing with society and dealing with yourself. So what you've chosen, your intention, what you've chosen to experience, I want you to know that it's enhanced and quadrupled even. So you can expect challenges ahead and rewards ahead as well.
Thank you,
One
Ray.
thing I wanted to add is, for those of you that are just starting off and you don't know what's ahead of you, I have documented my whole journey from the 5 years almost that I've done it, from the beginning all the way to now. And you can, if you're interested in finding out my trials and tribulations and my ups and downs and everything that I've gone through, I have a YouTube channel. You can go and check it out if you're interested. It's Breatharian Yogini. If you just type that on YouTube, it starts from Ray's retreat, actually, just day 1, day 2, how I went through the whole thing. So anyway, so that's it. I'll let Jerome say what he wants to say. Thank you.
Hey, Rocky, real quick, I just wanted to say, because I've been following your videos on YouTube too, and your hair looks amazing. I remember when you were going through like a transition with it, and it's looking fabulous now. So that's awesome.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, my hair was completely falling apart. I mean, I was almost bald. And so I can understand the trauma people go through when you first start on this path, because your hair starts falling out and a lot of ups and downs. But, if you keep on it, it just, like Ray says, it's the gift that keeps on giving. So things will change and get better. So thank you. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you. And Jerome, please say a few words.
Yeah, I would echo what Daniel was saying about Rocky, because Rocky was one of the ones that I started, watching. And I'm so glad that you documented and Ray, that you've documented, because, we have so much inspiration, and it's actually what inspired me to start documenting. So, there's just an abundance now. It's even growing more and more of this information online for people to find and to see that what they once thought was impossible is possible.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing to witness. I really get giddy. I get so alive with energy, and I feel so good to see someone else sharing their experience when you know you've gone through the same, and to see somebody else come to their own conclusions, their own realizations of what it means for them, you know, because it means something different to everybody, you know, because everybody is different. So I would definitely say, you know, as Ellie Tom always told us, enjoy the journey, you know, enjoy the journey. The energy is waiting on you. You know, there's no limit. The only limitation is the imagination. The energy can do whatever it wants with this vessel. It's like, where do you want to go? You know, where would you like to go next? So allowing yourself to enjoy the ride, you know, and whatever that means for you, that'll be what it is. So thank you just for showing up for yourself, you know, showing up for your health, showing up to open yourself up to a new level of awareness, you know, new information. And just thank you to this whole congregation, this whole collaboration right here. This is love. You know, we need more of this in the world. And I just want to shout out everybody that's in here. Much love and appreciation. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone, especially to the 3 celebrities we have here today. It's so nice to be with you. And everybody else. And yes, let's keep going. We are now on the 3rd day, and tomorrow is the last half day, so we're almost there. So I'll see you all. I'll see you all for the next workshop. Okay.
Hang in there, guys. Bye.
It was
Thank
so
you.
Bye-bye for
nice
now.
interacting with
Bye,
you all.
everyone.
Bye, big
Blessings.
guy.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.